5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
It almost hits a little different now to have, just a little Taylor Swift in our open every morning. Just a little here on the Sports NFL. Like, damn, it's 7 a.m. Nothing for you? Just a little different? A little bit. Just like you thought, Dame Lillard to the Bucks. I mean, who didn't see that coming? Duh. No surprise, right? Total surprise yesterday. Wow. Out of the blue. It was moving. Dame Lillard's going to move. Camp's opening. He's going to the Heat. It's going to happen. And it comes down and you say, wait, I told you so. Oh, wait, to the Bucks? What's up? Happy Thursday. Opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, DC. How we living?
What it do?
All right.
We got it.
I look at a trade with three teams that it almost feels like everybody scratched an itch, right? It feels like almost everybody scratched an itch. The Suns got rid of DeAndre Ayton. Wait, the Suns were involved in this? Yeah, three teams. And they got Nurkic in there, which kind of fills a void. They were done with the Ayton thing, and they had a big, giant contract they were dying to get out from under. And so bring in Nurkic, who's a big that doesn't have to be a star big because of the star power. Grayson Allen has become a way better role player than people think. And it feels like Portland got a big asset in Drew Holiday that they want to move. They get Ayton, which they seem good with. They get all this draft capital. And, of course, Damian Lillard's going to go play alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. Does it feel like everybody kind of scratched a little itch and came out with something that they needed?
It does. It's a reminder that when you're trading one of the top players in the league, it's going to be really hard to get back like value. Like, it's going to be about future picks. It's going to be about pick swaps, because if I'm Portland, I'm still a little underwhelmed. But the thing is, when you're trading Damian Lillard to a good franchise, they're not going to have a lot of picks available because they've already used those. And, that was
and what they have aren't going to be good.
And that was one of the talking points is when you look at a team like Milwaukee, how they're able to pull this off, because they've used first-round picks. They've used second-round picks to get...
We're talking about 2030 now.
Jay Crowder. Yeah, so you're going way down the line. And that's hard because when you're Portland Trailblazers, like, this regime is not going to see the benefit of that trade.
That's right.
And so I can understand just the frustration of, that's all you get, but that's kind of all that's available when you're talking to these good franchises about trading him.
So I think the next piece is, what are they going to get for Drew Holiday?
Yes.
Right? And can they? So by every account, Drew Holiday's going to go. And I think the Bucks, Adrian Wojnarowski, who knows all, he is the Wizard of Oz when it comes to basketball. He's the Wizard of the round ball. He said that Milwaukee did everything they could to try to keep Drew Holiday, and they finally realized they couldn't pull this deal off if Drew Holiday wasn't part of it. And good for Portland for being insistent on that, right? They needed to be, because that's outside of Damian Lillard, that's the biggest piece of this trade, right? Is Drew Holiday.
Yes.
And so can they flip that to whomever that's got draft capital and be able to build sometime in the nearer future with that?
Yeah, Drew Holiday is a fantastic basketball. He's one of the best defensive guards in the NBA. His offensive game has gotten better over the last few seasons, and Milwaukee takes a bit of a hit. Now, the thing with Milwaukee, them being so big and having Giannis and having Brook Lopez on the back end allows you to insert Damian Lillard and just go, we're getting elite offense, and he's not the best defender, but they'll make it work around him. And teams has to be chomping at the bit, because Dame Lillard, that market was so small. Drew Holiday is not going to sit there and be like, well, I'm only going to Miami. Like, there's the contenders are going to be coming after Drew Holiday.
Every one of them, both
There's
conferences.
Going to be a lot more opportunities for a good package coming back. And if you're Portland, you're finally moving on, because Dame Lillard, while he wasn't upsetting things, but it was getting Aaron Rodgers like. It's like, all right, what are we doing here? And then he made the trade demand.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you had to move on because they were not winning at the level that Dame wanted to win to. Well, he didn't go to Miami. This is better.
This is better than Miami? Yeah.
In terms of, like,
look,
not the lifestyle, not being with your bro Jimmy Butler.
Whatever. You're
you gotta go play with Giannis, man.
you're with Giannis Antetokounmpo now. Now, Giannis has made it very clear he may get out next summer, right? But this is something that would show Giannis that they're trying to win. Look, they're able to keep Brook Lopez. They're able to keep Chris Middleton, Giannis, and now you throw Dame in here. They have to be the favorites, right? The Celtics, I think, are nice, but they have to be the favorites in the East right now, don't they?
Yes, they do. They absolutely are. And the on-paper favorites in both conferences made big-time trades over the summertime with Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns,
Yep.
Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. And this is more like the Bucks were still contenders with Drew Holiday. But it's one thing you're just showing Giannis saying, hey, we're not going to get complacent. We're not going to be comfortable.
We're going to pay the tax. And
it's just more of sending that message to Giannis because they didn't go from, Milwaukee's like a 5th seed with Drew Holiday to a 1 seed with Dame. Like, they're the same team in terms of expectation wise, but it's Lillard is a star in the league. Lillard is the no name versus Drew Holiday.
So I want to 100%. And so Milwaukee wins because they get the biggest name. And you talked about Portland. The kind of sneaky piece in here is Phoenix, right? And Phoenix in the offseason went out and they got, as you said, Bradley Beal. Is Chris Paul still on their roster? He is, right?
No.
Where did he end up?
He's moved.
To where? Where is he? Where did Chris Paul end up? Right?
I'm blanking that right now.
I am too. They get rid of DeAndre Ayton, which wasn't working there. DeAndre Ayton was the number 1 overall pick out of Arizona, went to Phoenix. People loved him.
That's right, Golden State.
Golden State, that's right. Duh. I think adding Grayson Allen is a nice piece for them. It fits in really well with what they're doing with Bradley Beal and with Kevin Durant and with Devin Booker. And then I think the quietest piece of this is Nurkic. They add a 7-footer who can play, who's got talent, that they don't have to, that doesn't carry the history with that club that they had with Ayton. It's almost a fresh start. You can make an argument, and a good one, I think, that Nurkic is better than Ayton, can't you?
Yes, you can.
And so do they upgrade there and lose? Like, Ayton needed a fresh start, and he's got a gigantic contract. Nurkic is coming in, and he's making $16.8 million opposed to that gigantic contract. So you got, I look at Phoenix, and I'm going, wow, what they put together there.
They did really good in this to get a starting center, a veteran guy that's going to come in there.
Yeah.
And we're talking Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. It's a veteran team. Grayson Allen was just a role player on a winning team, so that's perfect for what they need. And Nassar Little is one of those players that throughout the regular season, he's a young guy that will get you buckets.
I like what they did. It feels like this is a trade that everybody kind of scratched an itch. And Portland's not done because whatever they turn Drew Holiday into, and what do you think he's worth? I mean, he's going to bring back, a couple players in a one?
I think if you're Portland now, you're seeing, all right, what's the best first round pick I can get in the next at least 2 to 3 years? Because you want to give Scoot Henderson their new lead guard this year.
He was the number 2 overall pick?
Comfortable with the NBA. And then you go to next year going, all right, we got to start putting some pieces on this guy now.
Yeah, I mean, I look at their roster, I'm like, okay. I mean, they're probably not going to win right now. But with Ayton, Scoot Henderson, whatever they're going to turn Drew Holiday into, Shaden Sharp, was he part of this deal? Did he come over? Was he already there?
No, he was already there.
He was already there. I mean, they've got, a little bit of pieces, whatever you think Jeremy Grant is, besides making a lot of money. Interesting stuff. All right, lots to do today on a busy game day Thursday, opening drive at 5:05. 246-0610. That's the Sports Animals phone line and the Sports Animals text line. Love to see you correspond to us that way. You can also get in on the email, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Hit JJ. It's JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Looking forward to a conversation at 8 o'clock. Tyler Keeney's going to be with us. Tyler is the defensive lineman for the Lobos, a local guy from Los Lunas who ended up out of college going to UCLA. You say, all right, I don't blame you. Got an opportunity, go to UCLA, great chance. And is transferred back and is making an impact and starting for the Lobos. And looking forward to, really excited to talk to him about his journey, what it was like going there, why come back, and this season, and what this defense is, because up front, I think they've been playing decently and to pretty well. And they got a big one going on at Wyoming this weekend. So we'll do that at 8 o'clock, 8:30. CBS Sports' Jerry Palm is going to be with us. Really looking forward to getting his take on what was an excellent, exciting, insane weekend last week in college football. So that's what we're going to do. We'll do the Red Zone at 8:30 for you and get through a day that is a game day. That we got Ryder Cup starting tonight, or today, I guess. It's this evening, right? Because it's in Rome. And when we come back, a brand new club with a member of one in Major League Baseball. Something that has never been done before. There's not really a big debate, I don't think, about who should be the MVP. This was pretty amazing. And he's resurrected a lost skill while becoming one of the best players in baseball. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night. And tonight, football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
Hi, I'm Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for
some help. Every fantasy football chart, prediction, ranking has the Broncos defense like a top 10 this week. And they're playing the Bears, and your guy, Justin Fields, is going to be so good. And I'm like, for the life of me, did I not just watch them give up 70? I get it, they played Miami. And Justin Fields isn't Tua Tagovailoa. They gave up 70. How can I possibly drop the Buffalo defense who's playing Miami this week, right? And because I can't play them. And pick up Denver who gave up 70. You want to explain something to me? Is it just Justin Fields is that bad?
Justin Fields is that bad right now?
That's his dude. Don't say that to him. That's his dude.
He's was a lot of people's.
It's amazing how many leagues he's actually available now. I think.
Why don't you play him this week against Denver's defense?
It's tempting.
Okay, let me ask you this. This is a red zone question for you, but I'll ask it to you right now, since you always ask me the damn questions. Better chance for a bounce back. Okay, so last week, Denver got beat 70-20, and the Bears got beat, 42-10. They play each other. Here, I'm going to say it just like you. They play each other this week in Chicago. Better chance for a bounce back week. The Chicago offense or the Denver defense? Ooh, that's a good one, huh? You wish you came up with that.
Denver defense.
Why? Because they're better?
Because the Bears offense is worse than a defense that gave up 70 points.
What do you say?
I tend to agree with that, actually. I think Vance Joseph is fighting for his job, so he's going to lay it all out on the line. I do think Broncos have a better chance of bouncing back.
The Bears are not going to be scoring at a clip where the Broncos are going to quit playing.
Well, that's not the question.
That's what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
They quit. No, I get that.
But they're not going to be at a point in that game where they're like, oh, man, they've got 28 points in the second quarter.
But somehow they're going to turn around and be, I mean, they're playing a bad team.
Look at what they did the first 2 weeks.
They held
Broncos defense.
The Raiders to 17, right?
And they had their second half blow up.
Against who they played the second
Commanders.
Against the Commanders. Who Sam Howell, who
was playing better football than Justin Fields.
I'm not as convinced as you guys are. It's that easy of an answer. I'm not. DJ Moore, Justin Fields run around. They're both really bad. There's no way I can. I'm going anywhere else but the Denver defense. I just can't. You can sit here Monday and tell me I was wrong, and I'll eat it. I just can't, in my right mind, pick up a defense and play them that gave up 70 freaking points to anybody. And I get it. One game, great offense. They're not that damn great. I mean, they're really good. That's not the best offense we've ever seen. They're really good. 70?
It's trending that way.
Yes, because they played the Broncos and put up 70. See what they do against the Bills this week. All right, over under.
The same Bills that lost to the New York Jets?
The same Bills that lost to the Jets. Team? Yeah, the same ones. Same exact ones. All right, over under, what are they averaging in points? I mean, over under 29.5 points this week for the Dolphins.
Over under.
All right, what's the fair number? I mean, because I know what's the average team scores, like 26-ish. So over under, but if they're that good, then 29.5 above average shouldn't be crazy.
I think they are that good, but a division game, I think it's to be right there.
All right. You're going under 29.5. Where are you going? They scored 70 last week and stopped playing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the Bills looked really good, though.
Yeah, they played Sam Howell last week. Oh, wait, the Broncos couldn't stop Sam Howell. Sorry. Yeah, they had 9 sacks, 4 interceptions, and scored a touchdown on defense. I know I played them last week.
That's a tough week. Yeah, I lean towards the under on that.
All right. That's my point. I can't play the Broncos defense.
No.
By the way, you're not going to believe what quarterback I just picked up on waivers.
Russell Wilson.
Well, Aaron Rodgers got hurt. I've been playing. I had Mac Jones sitting there.
That's a great play this weekend.
It is.
Should I play him instead of Geno?
Week.
Gino's playing the Giants? All right.
You got to do that to yourself.
Well, that's all I got, man. I'm not very good. That team's dropped. All right. There's a brand new club in baseball, and there's one member. Dues don't come in. It's tough to be a one-member club. The meetings are short, but at least there's no fights. Everybody gets along. The votes go unanimously. It's a one-member club. It's the 40-70 club. Ronald Acuna of the Atlanta Braves stole 2 bases yesterday. He got the second one in the 10th inning. He became the first player in Major League history to hit at least 40 home runs and steal 70 bases in a season. And sometimes you sit around and people throw numbers at you, right? And you're like, yeah, whatever. Okay, that's cool. I want you to back out a minute and think of who are the great power hitting guys who could move over the years, right? I mean, you think of great base stealers, you think of Lou Brock and Ricky Henderson, and if you'll go back to Maury Wills. You think of great home run hitters, and there's a ton of them. What home run hitters do you think of stealing bases? And certainly in the last 2.5, 3 decades, there were none, right? He has resurrected the lost art of stealing bases, which puts so much pressure on a defense and a pitcher. It's such a big piece of a baseball game that almost disappeared for the last 2 decades. This guy, if you've not watched him, baseball's playoffs start next week, and so you'll start to see it. But he's the first player with 40 home runs and 70 stolen bases in a Major League Baseball season ever in history, ever. His 41 home runs are 13 more than the next closest player with 70 steals. Let me say that again. His 41, so the closest guy to ever do this with 70 steals was Ricky Henderson, and he beat him by 13 home runs. He's got 24 more stolen bases than the next closest player who had 40 home runs in a season. A-Rod had 40 home runs in 1998, but stole, what's 70 minus 24? 46. Not even close. Are you guys as impressed with this as I am? Because it's amazing to me.
Yes. It shows you the next level athleticism and the continued development. Like Ronald Acuna, as much as we talk about Shohei Ohtani being able to do both ways, Acuna is showing that superior athleticism can still matter. To hit the home runs, to steal the bases, it is unbelievable. Because you're right, it's one or the other. You're either get on base, be fast guy, or hit it over the fence.
That's what baseball has become over the last couple of decades. I love this so much. I love a throwback player who, by the way, is a really good defensive player too. He's MVP, right?
I don't even think it's throwback because no one's done it.
Well, nobody's done like to those numbers.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody's done it.
Would this be in, just looking back, Barry Bonds before his head got too big?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I mean, there's not a lot of guys who were.
And even his stolen base numbers, the best he got was 52 in a season with 33 home runs.
33. That's really good. I mean, A-Rod in his prime, and again, what did he hit? 40, what was the number? He had 40 plus and stole 48 bases. Ricky Henderson stole 70 plus and was 41 minus 13. 31, 28. Yeah. Right? They talk about a 5-tool player. And I don't even know if people know what are the 5 tools anymore. Hit for power, hit for average, you can run, you can field, and you can throw. Those are the 5 tools. He's kind of a 5-tool player, isn't he? I mean, Ohtani's the 6-tool player because he can pitch. We've never seen that. But this is you're going to watch the playoffs. They're going to start next week. You're going to start kind of getting more into baseball and watching them, and they're going to mean something. They're going to be on every night, and you're going to have to make a decision, flip over to baseball, to football. Conference USA football is going to be on, all kinds of really cool stuff. October is a crazy month for sports because you get the baseball playoffs almost every night. Well, every night, and during the day. But if you've not taken a look at Ronald Acuna Jr., and we have conversations about the best baseball players in the world, and it's all about Ohtani, and you hear about Mookie Betts, you hear about Freddie Freeman, because it tends to be a Dodger town a little bit, and those guys are really good. This guy's unbelievable. And take a look at the Braves. By the way, the Braves are a team that we haven't seen something like this in a long, long time. And they've run away. They've got home field all the way through. They're 102-56. That is 48 games above, 46 games? Yeah, 46 games above 500. Their win percentage is .646. It's insane. The next best team, the Dodgers, are 98-60. It's 38 games above 500. And the Orioles are the best in the American League, 99-59. I'm excited about baseball playoffs. Do you guys? Will you watch it? I mean, it's after August 28th. Do you care now?
Care about sports.
All right.
What are you talking about?
Just because the Rockies might not be, they're not going to make the playoffs, right?
I already know for next year.
The Rockies are already out of it?
The Rockies have already lost the division. And the season hasn't even started, so I'm good.
Rockies aren't the worst team in baseball. The Oakland A's are there. Isn't it crazy? I look at the standings. The Rockies are 41 games back. 41 games. That's a quarter of the season, right? You play 162. A quarter of the season, they're back. Wow. When we come back, we got games tonight. Packers-Lions, get you up to date on injuries because that's a big deal tonight. You got a lot of guys, what to look forward. Tyler Keeney, Lobo defensive lineman, is going to be with us. Coming up, the young man from Los Lunas who went to UCLA and has come back. You've got Taylor and Travis can't stay out of the news. And Nork and Jerry. But when we come back, the updates and what you got to know about the big one tonight. I said big one with the Lions. Yeah, it's kind of a big one. Lions and Packers, oh my. On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and tonight football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
Hi, I'm Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark Support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
There, and he put it up, and he said we're going to get this done. We're taking another run at this, and it's going to be Balloon Fiesta Park, and it's going to be privately funded, and it's up to them now to fund it. And basically the state money that's been given to the city is going to go to it, so it's not costing the city. But yeah, he basically said yesterday, I mean, it's happening, and maybe by December they're starting to shovel this thing, which was kind of news to a lot of people, I think, in the audience. All right, JJ, I got a text from Hank on the text line, the Sports Animal text line, 505-246-0610. Good morning, Jeff, JJ, and DC. Would love to hear JJ's over-under on which Kelsey Swift duo splits up first, the Eagles or the Chiefs. Thank you for the show, and have a great day. Which Kelsey Swift duo? Look at all the red zone stuff coming in. Which Kelsey Swift duo splits up first, Travis and Taylor, or Jason and DeAndre?
So can Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift make it
through the season
to the Super Bowl?
To the Super Bowl.
I believe that this is Jason Kelce's last year.
That's kind of the point, right?
In Philadelphia. I think the longer relationship will be the one in Philly.
You don't think they're going to make?
Never know what's going to happen with. I don't know. I could see the Super Bowl because.
I mean, she's going to New York now. Sunday Night Football, New York City.
Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl,
and she's not even the halftime act.
No, will never be the halftime show.
But no, of course not. But she'll be bigger than the halftime show. Yeah, her show up in the suite.
Usher's going to be like, "Hey, I'm down here
Yeah,
performing."
That's right.
Is that official with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift?
Is what official?
Like, are they dating? Is that
I
a
mean,
real
she's
thing?
Pretty much.
I mean, I think so. I mean, I don't know what official is. Did like he change his status on his social media to?
Did he
in a
update his
relationship?
status?
I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know, but she's going to sit with Mama Kelsey again in the suite in New York.
Do you realize
New Jersey? Do I realize
the commitment that you have to sit there and watch the Chicago Bears and New York Jets in person? You have to really like someone to sit through that
with their mom.
The Chicago Bears and the New York Jets. When's that?
That's the teams Kansas City's played the last two.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Play each other. Okay. Yeah, I thought you were saying play each other. Yeah. No. So you kind of dig the dude, right? Yeah. His point's good. Yeah. All right, what do you get tonight? Packers Lions. So let me give you a couple updates. This is the NFL Network. And 27 minutes ago, the Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network reported that Christian Watson and Aaron Jones are both expected to suit up for Thursday Night Football, but they could have their snaps managed. They could be on a pitch count. For Watson, it says an appearance Thursday would constitute his regular season debut. Jones hasn't been on the field since week 1. Official word on Watson's status will come roughly 90 minutes before kickoff. And as far as Aaron Jones goes, he's officially questionable, limited in practice. But Tom Pelissero says it appears as though he'll be able to return to action Thursday. Per Pelissero, barring any setbacks, Jones should be able to log close to his normal allotment of snaps versus Detroit alongside A.J. Dillon. Official confirmation will arrive once Green Bay's inactives are posted 45 or an hour and a half before the game. All right, so JJ, a lot of people this is a big deal for a lot of people. Thursday night games are tough. I got 3 damn Packers on this one roster. What do I do here? I play Aaron Jones. Right?
Aaron Jones. He's
Aaron
such
Jones
a focal point of this offense. If he is good to go, Aaron Jones is right back in the lineup. And this is a early kind of got a win game for Detroit.
Okay.
It's Green Bay 1-0. They beat the Bears in division's first chance for the Lions to play an NFC North foe. And it really feels like, I know we've talked about the Vikings and they haven't played a division game yet, that Green Bay and Detroit are going to decide this division. For the Packers with Jordan Love, they're up 2-0 early and get a win over Detroit. That is going to be huge for that fan base, huge for that franchise. I want to see Detroit, because I thought what they did defensively was a big step, because Atlanta's got a really good run game, and they shut that down. And you saw, all right, this is that feisty front seven that gave Kansas City a ton of trouble. And I think that's going to be the difference in the division, is if Detroit's front seven can cause problems, can stop the run, that gives them the advantage.
So what are you doing with those receivers? Dubs, Christian Watson, Reed. I mean, what are you doing with are you waiting and seeing? I mean, look, I'll give you, they're getting better. I'm not sold that Detroit's defense is shutting down this offense.
Oh, yeah, the different time about the passing game versus...
Right, so what are you doing with those guys?
The run game. Here's the thing with Jordan Love. He's finding the end zone. His completion percentage is not good.
Okay.
But he's finding the end zone, so that gives you confidence of putting the Packers wide receiver in your lineup when you're talking about fantasy football. Because if you had Christian Watson, you probably took him in the 4th or 5th round.
If not earlier.
So these are the ones. It's like Alvin Kamara coming back this week, and Christian Watson healthy. You got to put him in your lineup. But you invested in him.
Let me play the other side. I mean, you're playing Gibbs if you're the Lions. You're Jahmyr Gibbs. You're playing Amon-Ra St. Brown. What are you doing with Sam Laporta? Is he a every week start? Like,
absolutely.
As a flex. So what if you have all right, so let me give you this. Calvin Ridley, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, and Sam Laporta sit one. Calvin Ridley, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Sam Laporta. Collins. You sit Nico?
They're playing the Steelers.
They're playing the Steelers. Yeah. Puka's questionable. All right. 505-246-06. And that's your latest on the injury stuff in the National Football League that goes into tonight. I know. Look, this is last week you had the Niners and everybody had a bunch of Niners. But this week, these are rosters that I know y'all have stuff on there. I know y'all.
Dave Montgomery is playing tonight as well for Detroit,
which is a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal. And when we come back, Aaron Rodgers called out the Jets earlier this week. The reaction from the team and the coach, who says, yeah, I'm fine with that. Really? Robert Saleh's in a tough spot. He's the Jets coach. That's next. Is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Download the KNML app in the Google Play or iTunes App Store. Just search KNML.
Everybody's ripping the Jets. Pretty easy, isn't it? I mean, it's almost too easy. Aaron Rodgers was on with Pat McAfee, and he said the Jets need to grow up a little bit, hold our poise a little better. They got to do a better job of handling the negativity. He didn't rip into his team, but he wasn't soft on his team either. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, DC. You're welcome to get in today, like you are most days at 505-246-0610. That's the Sports Analyst phone line and our text line. So I don't know what you want to hear from Aaron Rodgers. I think Jets fans are just, all I want to hear from Aaron Rodgers is that you can play this weekend. That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear anything. I mean, do they want to hear anything else? This is the weirdest thing. Is he one of them? Like, as far as Jets fan is concerned, what is Aaron Rodgers? Is he your quarterback? He played 4 plays for you.
My quarterback.
He was the star of your preseason show on HBO. But I mean, is he your guy? It's kind of the weirdest thing ever, isn't it? Where is he as far as? Yeah, he can talk junk about it. You know how? You remember the line in Animal House? They can't haze our pledges. Only we can haze our pledges, right? I mean, they can't talk bleep about us. Only we can talk bleep about us. Is he one of us? If you're a Jets fan,
He's more a Jet than Zach Wilson is.
it's interesting. He's played 4 plays for the Jets.
In those 4 plays, he brought more hope than Zach Wilson ever will.
All right, so it's okay that he talks the junk. According to Robert Saleh and a bunch of players on the team, they're fine with Aaron Rodgers, who isn't there, calling out the team, and they're good with it. Quarterback DJ Reed is a cornerback, defensive back. Said he's right, man. You can't blow up and show frustration on the sideline, especially on the sideline. That was a quote. Robert Saleh is the head coach. Quote, he's as much of a coach as he is a player, and he's been around youth, and he's been around adversity, and he's seen it all. So for him to recognize that and talk through it, I think he's not wrong in that when you have frustration, it's easy to look for answers when sometimes the most important answer is inward. As it pertains to what he said, he's not wrong. But at the same time, it's just a bunch of young guys showing a little frustration. They'll be all right. It almost sounds like, look, it's no big deal. Right? It's no big deal here. Nothing to see. That's just not right. In fact, it's Sunday night football this weekend, and you're getting more eyes on you because Taylor Swift's going to be there. And Aaron Rodgers is going on Pat McAfee and talking about you. Oh, and you're running Zach Wilson out there. And you think it's bad now with Zach Wilson? You can't hide him in the 2 o'clock window on Sunday afternoon when he's on NBC against, oh, by the way, Patrick Mahomes is coming. Did I mention Taylor Swift's going to be there? Like, there's nowhere to hide him now. Jim says he's the Jets' Dalai Lama. Gunga galunga lunga. Yeah, galunga lunga. There's no hiding him. He's trying to be encouraging. This is their center, Connor McGovern. He's trying to be encouraging. We wouldn't be having scuffles on the sideline, whether it's positive or negative, or we shouldn't be. It brings the wrong energy. If it comes off in the kind of demeanor, it can cause panic, and you just don't need it around. Can I tell you this? Here's why I think it's going to be good. Because Garrett Wilson doesn't give a damn what Zach Wilson says. But he got called out, and I don't know if he got a text or a call from Aaron Rodgers. But I promise you, Garrett Wilson, that young wide receiver, offensive rookie of the year from a year ago, I promise you he heard what Aaron Rodgers said. Whether Aaron Rodgers called him or texted him directly. And it resonates way more, even if it was on the Pat McAfee show, than anything Zach Wilson says. And I'm going to guess we don't see it again this weekend. Oh, we might in 2 weeks when they continue to be bad. Do you think that's right? I mean, that's why I think they're going, you know what? Aaron's calming us down from afar. In absentia.
I think it's been really hard to do for Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, the playmakers on the offense, to not want to yell at Zach Wilson constantly. Because it's not, the numbers are just so bad. The efficiency, any metric you look at, whether you like them or not, Zach Wilson is at the bottom of everything.
So what are you yelling him about? You think he's not trying? He's just not good enough. Yeah. It's kind of weird. You yell at someone. It's like, what are you mad at him for? He didn't make the throw. He's not good enough.
I think that's where the frustration is. If it's that bad, why isn't someone else just getting the opportunity?
I mean, but don't you think is he making a mistake, or is
that's
it just
where the frustration comes from?
Yeah, I get
if you see Zach Wilson, then there's also going to get to a point where you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, here's Tim Boyle, here's Trevor Siemian. But if you're on that team and you're like, here we go again with Zach Wilson,
and we just
can't sit there and listen to Robert Saleh tell you he's not the reason you're losing games.
Yeah, I agree with that too, and that's where Robert Saleh is going to lose this whole thing. Do you think he's making mistakes, or do you think he's just not capable? Because I think that they're two distinct different things. Now, they lead to the exact same result, right? Which is what they're getting. To your point, the bottom of every stat, and they're losing games, and they're just not competitive offensively. But do you guys think he's making mistakes, bad reads, bad throws, or he's just not capable of being that guy? And the answer very well may be the latter. And it's really hard to accept when you invested the second overall pick into him.
It's not hard to accept because you traded for Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
So
but
you
now you're
accepted
stuck
that.
with him now. Like you're right. It wasn't hard to accept when he was backing up and he was like, yuck, 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 and he was the understudy, and Aaron's going to make him. And now understudy's got to play ball. It's got to be hard to accept after you went through a whole preseason of that, and we're contenders and we're going to the Super Bowl, and now this is what I got. And so yeah, I'm yelling at this dude, and I'm pissed and I'm frustrated. I don't even know what I'm yelling at him about because I don't know if he's making a mistake or if he's just not capable of doing what somebody in that job's got to do.
And the frustrating thing, too, is it's easier said than done. Just, I don't know, go run the football. But
100%.
that offensive line hasn't been good. And, like, they shocked Buffalo in week 1. But you look down and
Buffalo was horrible that day.
Yeah, but I mean, but even still running the football, Breece Hall broke off one big run.
Yep.
But you look, and Patriots on Sunday in their 15-10 win over the Jets had 157 yards rushing as a team. Jets had 38. And if the Jets can't run the football, they have zero chance.
By the way, Ezekiel Elliott had 80 yards against them. Ezekiel Elliott, remember him? Washed up dude that went up to play for Belichick. Right? You all remember him. How come the offensive line isn't taking as much as Zach Wilson is? If they get pumped this weekend, all right, and they're way better than the Bears defensively, but there's no reason Patrick Mahomes isn't going to put 35 points on him, right?
Oh, he can.
Okay. So they get beat 35-10 this weekend. They got to make a move at quarterback, don't they? Whether it's Trevor Siemian, whoever it is. Like Robert Saleh can stand up there all week and say he's my guy. But JJ, to your point, those guys saw all camp what a guy looks like. He's going to lose that room and hence lose his job. He's going to go from that guy who was, man, I'm riding Aaron Rodgers to a raise, to a Super Bowl, to I'm out of work and I'm going to be the 49ers defensive coordinator again because I backed Zach Wilson. Like, that's the hill he's ready to die. Now, I get it. What his option is what, Trevor Siemian? So I understand that. It's a tough. I feel bad for him. Like I do. I don't know him. Not even sure I even like him. But that's a tough spot he's in, isn't it? Because there's nowhere to go.
It gets to a point though too where the messaging from the head coach has to change. It can't be, no, Zach Wilson's not the reason why we're losing, and it's got to just be basic. Hey, we just got to go back to work. Everyone has to be better. Tough challenges ahead. Like just basic vanilla stuff, because when you're saying, hey, the worst quarterback in the league outside of Justin Fields, it's not the reason we're losing games, that frustration is just going to boil over to everyone.
All right, when we come back, we're talking a little bit football. Really looking forward to talking to Tyler Keeney. Tyler from Los Lunas, New Mexico. He's the starting defensive lineman for UNM, went to UCLA out of high school, transferred back home, and is making a difference on that line for a 2-2 Lobo team that's on their way to Wyoming. Looking forward to talking to him about his journey. Excited about this conversation. It's next. Tyler Keeney on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. It's your home for Sunday night and Monday night and DC even tonight. Football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Big one to open up conference play for the Lobos on Saturday. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us on the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. Lobos coming off a overtime victory in Amherst, Massachusetts on Saturday past, their second win of the season. They close out the non-conference portion of their schedule with a 2-2 record and go on the road to beautiful Laradice to play the Wyoming Cowboys. 2 o'clock, JJ, the weather's supposed to be like 71 and, always windy in Laramie.
This is the time you want to hit up Laramie.
Oh, man. Let me just tell you, going in late September beats the hell out of early November.
Yes, it does.
I talked to their athletic director up there, Tom Berman, yesterday. He said it's been a great fall. The weather's been perfect, and it's a great time to go. Wyoming is, last I saw, 14-point favorite. Is that too much? It's not like they're explosive offensively. They found ways to win, right? They gutted out an overtime victory over Texas Tech at home. They blocked a field goal, or it was a punt last week. A field goal? Punt. They blocked a kick last week, returned it, and held off App State. They got an interception at the end of the game. They were 10-10 with Texas. That's right, the University of Texas Longhorns, going into the fourth quarter before losing 31-10 down in Austin. It's a pretty good football team they're playing.
It's a very tough football team. It's Craig Bowl. You get what you get. You know the style they're going to play. You know how tough it is when you go up to Laramie, the kind of game that you're going to be in, and you have to have the right mindset to play this football game.
Yeah, and you know what you're getting with them. Wyoming's what you want to be. It's kind of what Rocky Long teams have been over the years, a tough, gritty team. Lobos go up there and have a great opportunity to get started with a win in conference play. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. We welcome to the show now a young man who was named Mountain West All-Academic in 2022. He played high school football at Los Lunas, went to UCLA, redshirted his true freshman year at UCLA, and transferred back home and is now starting on the defensive line for the Lobos. Tyler Keeney joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Tyler. How you living?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're good. Thanks for jumping out of that meeting. Frank pulled you out. It's something you're not going to learn. You're missing out on something big, missing this meeting this morning?
We'll be all right. Yeah, we'll make it work.
That's what I figured. Big one last week, man. For talk about what the defense did to rally at the end of that game. And I know you weren't in the defensive backfield, but your defense gives up a long play at the end of the game, and then you got to rally and hold them to a field goal in overtime to win that game. A little bit of mindset on the field in Amherst last week.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, second half of the game, we were adamant on stopping them, because it was a fairly close game. So we held them to 2 field goals, and then gave up a big play. It happens. I mean, we all make mistakes, so we give up the big play. But, I mean, we're thinking we just got to win, We're tired of losing. We got to bring one home. We lost the week before to State, so we're hungry for a win, So we go out there and we just want to stop them. And, I mean, some big plays are made. We hold them to a field goal in overtime, and then we trust our offense with the ball. So we were just looking to give it back to them, and then we did, and we won. So we were just hungry is basically what I'm trying to say.
Is hunger part of learning how to win? I talk to athletes all the time about this. What does it mean to learn how to win? I hear people say, we got to learn how to win. And your coach says, we sure as heck know how to lose around here. We got to learn how to win. Was that a step in something, or is that just a bunch of hyperbole?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, knowing how to win is basically knowing how to persevere, in my opinion. So I think having to overcome those challenges that were presented, especially late in the game, was a huge part of that. And learning that we can overcome challenges and that we can win is, like you said, a part of learning. And I think that having that win under our belt is a big first step in learning how to win, like you said.
Tyler Keeney, Lobo defensive lineman, is with us on The Sports Animal.
But Tyler, you talk about in the moment, having to persevere. But look at Coach Gonzalez. Overtime starts, you guys win the toss, and he puts the defense right back on the field. He wanted you guys to set the tone. What did that say to you guys that after how that game ended, he went right back to you and said, hey, I know you guys can respond?
Yeah, so, I mean, Coach G's a defensive guy, right? So, I mean, of course he's going to want the defense out there. Of course he's going to be the one calling the plays and getting a stop early in overtime so we can know what we're dealing with. And, I mean, our mentality is our defensive philosophy is keep them out of the end zone, right? Know what to do, how to do it, all 11 to the ball in a bad humor, and keep them out the end zone. So we were just looking to keep them out the end zone, hold them to a stop. So, and that's what we did. We held them to a field goal, which, I mean, isn't the optimal situation. Of course, we'd like to keep them to nothing, but if we can keep them to the field goal, Coach G believes in our offense, and we believe in our offense and what these guys can do. And, that's what we were looking to do. And just like exactly how we did, if we can hold them to a field goal and score a touchdown, we win. So that's the mentality, yeah.
How were you guys able to step up in short yardage situations? There was 3rd and short, there were 4th down plays. You guys stuffed them at the line of scrimmage. They were 0 for 3 on 4th down. How do you build off those big moments from your defense?
Yeah, those are huge moments in the game. I mean, you had a 4th and 1, and they're on their side of the 50-yard line. So if they get that, I mean, they might score. So those are just one of those plays where you just kind of got to man up and put your head down and just make contact with somebody and do what you're supposed to do, be where you're supposed to be. And I mean, that's a testament to our defense and our guys. I mean, both up front and in the backfield, because everybody comes crashing down on those plays. And I mean, those are huge plays that we had to make. And like I said, we were hungry for a win. And those are just the key plays in the game that gave us that the win, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's where it was. Tyler Keeney's with us, the Lobo defensive lineman. Played high school football at Los Lunas, was the 2020 Metro Player of the Year. Got the Tigers to the state 5A title game and went to UCLA. Talk about the journey a little bit. I think Lobo fans always want to keep the best players home. And I've always said, if you got an opportunity, man, when I was 17, 18, I left home, right? I left LA, went to San Diego, and I grew up. You had an opportunity to go to UCLA. And now here you are back. Talk a little bit, about the decision to go to UCLA initially, and then your decision, you know what, maybe coming home is the best thing for me, and here you are, and you're making plays for Lobos.
Yeah, so my senior year was the 2020-2021 year, so it was I basically did not have a senior year because of COVID, didn't play in the season and stuff, so my recruiting kind of just came off of what I did my junior year and sophomore year. And so, I mean, luckily I did pretty good those years, and I got my recruiting started early. So my decision to go to UCLA, I mean, they showed me a lot of love throughout the pandemic. I mean, we were on Zoom calls once or twice a week. We were, talking. I had a great relationship with the defensive ends coach over there, and then I decided that LA was the place to be. I mean, I've been there before. My brother had lived there before, so I was familiar with the area. I mean, there was the beach. I mean, what's not to like about LA, you know what I mean? I mean,
weather's great. The girls are pretty. Yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah, so so I went over there, learned a lot, had a great time, and then just decided that just things came to be, and it just turned out that it wasn't the best fit for me like I had initially thought. And once that thought kind of settled in, I knew that I just wanted to come home and be a Lobo, because growing up here in the Albuquerque area, you grow up going to Lobo football, basketball, Lobo everything around here. So it's always been a dream, growing up here to represent my hometown and my city and my state. So I wanted to be here, wanted to be close to my family, and yeah.
Well, Tyler, you're a beast on that defensive line now, 6'3", 277, but you're also a hooper in high school. How big was just being a multi-sport athlete, having that athletic ability, and the opportunity to play multiple sports for you now at this point in your career?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, we were talking about it the other day in the D-line room, that being a hooper back in the day made me a good football player. And I say that because playing basketball is really what got me good footwork, good agility, good speed, like change of direction, quickness. I mean, being able to make a move, to the basket, cross up a dude, or like hit a spin move in the post. I mean, it all kind of translate over to doing like one-on-ones and pass rush, and like having a play defense in basketball is kind of just like you're going up to make a tackle and you got a running back trying to shake you down and break your ankles. But, I mean, I was already used to being in those situations and able to move my feet and stay in front of the guy, you know what I mean? So, I mean, there's some differences in football and basketball, but, I mean, overall, the athletic and, agility aspect is very, very much the same. And I think that playing basketball
helps a lot.
Very much helped me to be a great football player.
Who's the best basketball player on the defensive line? You guys, Paul, I know you do.
You know I'm going to have to say myself.
You should say yourself.
But, I mean, that's up for debate.
Yeah. All right, lastly, going up to Laramie. Wyoming's going to run the ball. They're going to try and run it down your necks, right? You know what I think they threw for 36 yards last week. Now, maybe they'll try a little bit more after looking at tape and trying to test your secondary, but you know what you're getting. You're going up there, and they're a lot like you, man. They're going to try and run it down your throats. What do you got looking at you this weekend as you get ready for the Cowboys?
Yeah, they're going to try to run it down our throats, and we're going to stuff it right back down theirs. I mean, that's what we do. We don't like when teams run on us. We don't like when teams try, because I mean that's what our strong suit is. I mean, you look at Texas A&M when we played them, we held them to a very low amount of rushing yards, except for 2 or 3 plays with a QB scrambled out, or we were just in the wrong defense, So run stop is what we take pride in, and I mean us up front especially. I mean we we preach that they're not going to run the ball on us. And I mean, of course, they're going to make a play here and there, but we're going to do the best in our ability to keep them to 0. I mean, yeah.
Safe travels up there. You've been to Laramie? Have you ever been up there?
I have not.
Different spot, kind of a fun little spot, but it's a different spot up there. You're going at the right time of year, too. At least you're not getting that beautiful Laramie weather. I'll see you up there, man. Appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. Welcome home, and good luck up in Laramie. Safe travels.
For sure. Thank you very much.
All right, be well. Tyler Keeney is the Lobo lineman. That's a good story, isn't it?
It is. And you see this group on the defensive line with Gabe Lopez, Tyler Keeney, Kyler Drake. I think they're bigger, they're stronger. What they did against UMass, that changed the game.
Totally.
It did. Now
the defensive stops on 4th down.
The getting off the field in the first half, allowing the Lobos to get out to that lead, gave them that margin for error to where, it didn't go there in the second half, but they ended in overtime. Not a loss in regulation.
That's right.
And now you're going against a different beast in Wyoming.
My favorite part there was, they're going to try to run it down our throats, so we're going to try to stuff it right back down theirs. All right, Jerry Palm's going to be with us at 8:30 from CBS Sports. We'll talk about a great week last week in college football. I'm looking forward. Red Zone next. DC's got a really cool red zone of NFL stuff. When we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Ojera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
The Buffalo defense against Miami. Stop overanalyzing this, Jeff. Miami will not score 70 again. Stay with Buffalo. I don't know, man. Hard to play defense against Tua and that speed. Opening drive, Jeff. JJ DC. We're going to talk about Jerry Palm coming up here in a few minutes from CBS Sports. Game tonight. Lions, Packers here on the Sports Animal. You want to do a little red zone?
Yep.
All right, let's go into the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, so we're going to try something a little bit different today. I'm going to list some quarterbacks, then you tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how confident you are in that player for the remainder of this season. So we'll start in the AFC. Trevor Lawrence.
8.
7.
Lamar Jackson.
9.
7.
Justin Herbert.
10.
8.
Russell Wilson.
6.
4.
And you just picked him up, too. That's good.
Well, I had no choice. It was him or Mac Jones, dude.
You made the right choice. Ryan Tannehill.
4.
Can I go negative?
Yeah, you can.
-1.
4.
Josh Allen.
9.
8.
Mac Jones.
4.
5.
Deshaun Watson.
5.
6.
CJ Stroud.
6.
I'm a 6 on Stroud.
Ooh, that's one we agree on.
Ooh. And Joe Burrow.
7.
9.
Only because of the injury. I can't be confident with a guy who's with a calf injury that could go, and it scares the hell out of me that so many calf injuries lead to killings.
No 10s in AFC for you?
You didn't ask me about Patrick Mahomes.
Oh.
Did you?
No.
No. All right.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
All right, so let's try it in the NFC. Jared Goff.
I'm 7.
I'm at 8.
Matthew Stafford.
6.
7.
Kirk Cousins.
6.
6.
Baker Mayfield.
5.
5.
Geno Smith.
6.
7.
Brock Purdy.
8.
8. Yep, that's solid.
Daniel Jones.
5.
Yes, 5.
Jordan Love.
6.
6.
Dak Prescott.
6.
6.3. Dak Prescott.
Just a little higher than Jordan Love. All right, that's a cute game.
Third and goal.
All right, so we were talking about the big trade in the NBA earlier, so let's talk about trading in the NFL. The deadline is coming soon, and Jonathan Taylor is still a Colt. Taylor will come off the PUP list after this weekend's game, but has made it known that he still wants out of Indy. What team's jersey will Jonathan Taylor be wearing next time he starts a game?
That's so good. I mean, the easy answer is Indianapolis, right? But where you're going is where are they going to trade him? What if I said Buffalo? Because that's what I'm going to say.
It's going to be the Indianapolis Colts. I think with Indianapolis, there's still the butting heads with Jonathan Taylor in the front office about his contract, but you're 2-1. You're 1-1 in the division. Like, you can convince yourself, like, you can be a playoff team in year one with Anthony Richardson. You try to have a kumbaya moment with Jonathan Taylor. I want to see the Colts with a legit offensive weapon on the field because they're getting by. They have average skill players outside of Michael Pittman. Now you put Jonathan Taylor on the field, get Anthony Richardson healthy. I want to see what that looks like.
You know, there's part of me that's looking at this and almost kind of, and there's no reason for me to side with ownership here because they don't feel like good people. But he's out going, okay, fine. Go ahead and see what you look like with a rookie quarterback and without me. And they went out not only without the rookie quarterback with Gardner Minshew, but without you, and they're 2-1. And it's almost like, yeah, dude, whatever, man. We're proving our point, not yours. And he's not gaining to me any traction here.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
Tonight, the Lions and Packers play each other for the 188th time. Last time we saw these two play, the Lions got a tough 20-16 win in Lambeau with nothing on the line other than pride. Both teams have injury questions in their running back room, but it looks like David Montgomery and Aaron Jones will both play. So if you were a GM, would you rather have the Green Bay or Detroit running backs?
Detroit Lions. I think Jahmyr Gibbs has game-breaking ability. If we were ranking the individual backs, I think Aaron Jones could still be number one, but Gibbs and Montgomery are outplaying A.J. Dillon, and I like the Detroit Lions backfield.
Yeah, if you're saying which one do you want, Aaron Jones is my guy. I think Aaron Jones is the best of them, but they're deeper with Detroit. Gibbs has proven to be worthy of that number 12 overall pick. David Montgomery's come over, and when he's healthy, he's a stud. And Craig Reynolds is a piece that people don't even talk about as a number 3 guy that they throw at you. And what's Dillon averaging, like 2.1 yards per carry or something like that? Aaron Jones is my favorite of all of those guys, but I think Detroit's deeper.
Yeah, that Detroit running back room is awesome. And Gibbs, you're absolutely right. He is totally deserving of that pick. He is exciting to watch, and he's the reason I'd take. I want to take
you back to draft day. Do you remember draft? What are they doing?
Still don't draft him there.
You still hate it.
Still don't draft.
You still don't like it, even as good as he's been. Yeah.
If you don't draft him there, where would you?
You wouldn't get him
around, or
somebody else would take him at the bottom of the round. You still think it's too high, huh? All right. When we come back, we're going to catch up with our good buddy Jerry Palm, who you read on a regular basis over on CBSSports.com. We'll get into the week that was, which was great football, and the week that will be, which should be really good as well. Highlighted by USC at Colorado. I think USC's there as well. We'll get into that. That's coming up next on The Sports Animal. Now is not the time to take your home or business security for granted. I suggest you call IPS, International Protective Service. They protect my home. They protect hundreds of homes and businesses in Albuquerque. Not only does IPS provide standing guards and armed patrols, they install alarms and cameras as well to record criminal activity, and they have smart technology to control access to your home or your facility. At IPS, they'll monitor your systems. When they see something suspicious, they send someone to check it out. It's a winning combination to prevent you from being victimized. Protect what's important to you, what you've worked so hard to build. It's private, affordable security that will save you money. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about your security.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point, and their
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in.
It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo, unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto made one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What a
there.
move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vincente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also.
Global football up in Laradice this weekend. 2 o'clock Mountain West opener over on News Radio KKOB, coming off an overtime win at UMass. Lobos are 2-2. Wyoming coming off of a kind of a thrilling victory over Appalachian State up in Laramie. They've beaten App State in a tight one up there. They've beaten Texas Tech up there. Should be an interesting one. Aggies off on Saturday. They'll be in action on Wednesday of next week at home against FIU. down in Las Cruces. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. This time of week, we look forward to it. Every single week, we check in with our buddy Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, who joins us on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Jerry. How you living?
I'm doing all right. So we're having Wednesday games already?
It's October next week, man. We got all the Thursday Conference USA's, I think, playing 2 tonight, if I'm not mistaken. And then, yeah, it's October. Conference USA is playing Wednesday, Thursday games all October. It's kind of the Fun Belt.
So that's new this year then, because the MAC has done Tuesday.
It's absolutely new this year. Yeah, no. So Conference USA is going all tomorrow. You get Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky, and then Jacksonville State, Sam Houston. They're playing Friday this week. They're not even playing Saturday this week. They're not playing any weekend games for the next month.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay.
They get on TV and they'll be the only games on Wednesday, and people will watch them.
Yeah, probably so. I would.
Yeah.
I would have done that last night.
Yeah.
I had or Wednesday game.
That's how it's going to go.
It's either that or watch the Cubs.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Boy, how are they just falling off the cliff?
Yeah, while they're the Cubs.
Yeah, no, that's right. Hey, last week
like
lived
the
up.
first time that's happened.
No, it happens all the time. As a Cub fan, you know. Last week lived up to it, didn't it? Ohio State, Notre Dame was insane.
Yeah.
Florida State, Clemson was insane. Oregon, Colorado was insane in a different way. Insane, but it lived up to Washington State was announced that they're here. It lived up to everything we were talking about, huh?
Yeah, those were great games. And I think, we had 6 games between 2 ranked teams, and Washington State was the only lower ranked team to win, and they were at home. So, but the Oregon-Colorado game, I mean, that was a 21-point spread, which Oregon covered comfortably. But, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Notre Dame's got 10 guys on the field for the last 2 defensive plays. Just crazy. Florida State, was able to come back a little bit and win in overtime in that game. And that's a big win for Florida State and a huge loss for Clemson because they're done now as a playoff team. The best that they could hope for would be to, come back and, get back in the ACC championship game and maybe win that.
Yep.
But that would give them the Orange Bowl. That's the best they can do right now. And they're 1 loss away from maybe that not happening either. So it's a very off year for Clemson.
I watched that game. I watched that game. I thought Clemson was as good, if not better, all game long. And I never find myself pulling for Clemson, but I kind of did in that situation. I thought they should have won that game.
Yeah, they probably should have. But you got to give Florida State credit because that's a tough environment to go in and try and win, and they weren't playing their best football. And you got to give Clemson credit for that as well, and found a way to get a really important win for Florida State in terms of, not just the conference race, but they're trying to qualify for the college football playoff, and that's a huge win for them.
Jerry mentioned teams that are out. And in the Pac-12, it's going to be a battle all year long. And looking at, Friday night game, Utah and Oregon State, in another tough game, but Utah, they don't want to have one loss this early. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, Oregon State, that's a good team. That's the thing is there are 6 teams to me in the Pac-12.
Yep.
Any of them could win the league. The 2 Oregons, the 2 Washingtons, USC and Utah. Any of them could win the league. And it's going to come down to these road games. Can Utah get a win on the road at Oregon State? Can USC get a win on the road? Wherever these teams need to get road wins against each other, the teams that can do that or have the best chance to win this league. Because, winning at home you kind of expect, right? And these are relatively equal teams. And, so this is huge for Utah. Like, if Utah wants to be a conference champion, this would be a huge, huge win for them. And for Oregon State, who's already taken a road loss, they need to defend their home turf. So, these games among these 6 teams are all going to be really big. And the Pac-12, I don't know if the Pac-12 can even go a week without some big game that could influence the conference race.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the Sports Animal this morning.
Well, Jerry, when we were talking last week, an underrated game just because of what we've seen with the hoopla around Deion Sanders was Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, Nick Saban, Alabama. Alabama wins, and all Ole Miss gets is LSU coming to town this weekend. What did you make of that contest last Saturday?
I thought that Ole Miss was kind of disappointing offensively. Alabama stepped up, and they had to because they had not really played their best football yet, and I thought that was They go back to Milroe. The offense is better. Still not great, but better. But Mississippi should have had, I think, more success offensively against Alabama's defense. It should have been able to do some of what Texas had done and throw deep on them, but they couldn't or didn't. Either way, I expected more from Ole Miss in that game. I'm not surprised Alabama won because Alabama's at home and they usually win. But I expected more offensive punch from Mississippi to make it a little bit harder on them.
Now they get LSU at home this week, which is interesting because I agree with you. I was disappointed in what they did offensively, and now they're going to have to score points to beat LSU.
LSU had a tough one this week, too. Was that Mississippi State?
Yeah.
Or Arkansas? No, it was Arkansas.
That was the week before.
I'm used to that game being played in November. LSU and Arkansas this week, and Arkansas, pushed them all the way to the limit. So LSU has got to get. Their offense is fine, but they've got to ratchet up the defense a little bit to win a game at Mississippi.
I'm going to go back to Pac-12. SC goes to Boulder. 10 o'clock in the morning. They're going to play that game. 10 o'clock in the morning.
Is that local time?
That's local time, right? It's the big noon game on Fox, and so it's 10 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time. I think SC beats them, but I think this one's closer because I think SC gives up points, right? They're secondary. They just 24-point spread if you're a betting person, and whichever way I go the other way. But I think Colorado can score on them. It's at home, and SC gives up points. But where I saw the deficiency was in the line. Oregon's lines just beat the hell out of Colorado.
Yep. They when you get a score like that starts at the line of scrimmage. For Colorado, I don't trust USC's defense, to do what Oregon did. They just don't. They're not that good a defense. What is the 24? Wow, that's a big number. I took the over.
It's a fair number. Yeah.
Actually, I tend to, with USC, I just tend to take the over, whatever it is.
It's been bet down to 21.5. All right, you want me to give you the over? You want it? It's 73.5.
Yeah, that's a big number, but USC could score 50 of that.
Yeah, they could.
And they don't really need that much from Colorado.
70.
Yeah, 70 is that's a big number on an over/under.
Yeah,
I know there are people that if it's like 70, I'm never taking over 70, but USC against a competent offense, I would consider the over.
Just a few more minutes with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. He's with us on the Sports Animal.
We all know about Tulane coming off of last season. Still, for the moment, as you have them down into the New Year's Six Bowl representative from the Group of Five, but Fresno State nipping at their heels. What do you like about the path Fresno State has?
What do I like about what?
Just Fresno State being behind Tulane right now.
Their path to get to the
the reason I have Tulane ahead, and of course that's a projection. That's a full season projection. Because if you were going to pick a team based on what they've done so far, you'd go with Fresno. They've been pretty impressive, but I think Fresno State's path to the Mountain West Championship is more difficult than Tulane's, and I think in the if Fresno State can get there at 12-1, then they'd probably be ahead of Tulane at 12-1, which is Tulane winning out at this point. But it might be that the Mountain West produces an 11-2 champion, and I don't think that's going to be quite good enough. But I like Fresno State a lot. I mean, I saw them in person when they played at Purdue, and I watched them again on television. That's a team that's got a lot of weapons. They're good on both sides of the ball. It's going to be a tough out for anybody to beat them. But in conference play, I could see a slip up in the regular season, and maybe even two, and still win the league, because I think the league is going to be that competitive at the top.
They go to Wyoming next week, which is always tough. I think they run through Nevada this week. They're tough ones. They get UNLV, who's really improved at home. They get Boise State at home, and then they'll finish up at San Diego State.
They don't play Air Force, right?
They do not play Air Force, who I think is. I'm going to go see Air Force a little bit this week too. I think Air Force is really, really good. Hey, Duke Notre Dame. Don't sleep on Duke. I kind of like Duke at home this weekend.
I kind of wonder what Notre Dame's mindset is going to be coming off that tough loss at home to Ohio State. If they go, I think Duke's catching them at a good time, because they could catch Notre Dame a little bit down in the dumps. But on the other hand, Notre Dame might be even more focused coming off a loss. So Notre Dame is more talented. That's a tough place to play, and against a pretty good Duke team. And I don't know about underrated, because they're in the polls, and that's probably where they should be. But You don't think about football when you think about Duke. And if Notre Dame shows up ready to play and plays their game, I think it's going to be hard on Duke. But that's what you thought about Clemson too. But I don't think Clemson was as good as we thought. I think Notre Dame is as good as we think, and I like Notre Dame to win this game.
Let me ask you one last thing, a big picture thing. College Football Playoff Committee got together in regards to format for the 12-team playoff. We know it's going to be a 12-team playoff next year. The initial formation was the highest rated 6 conference champions, and then with the Pac-12 becoming what the Pac-2 or the 2-pack now as it is, there's been a lot of talk about going to 5 conference champions and then 7 at-larges. They shelved it for now. Where do you see it going? Eventually it goes to 5 and 7, don't you think?
If they can get Mike Oresco on board,
and that's
with
the
it,
issue. And why would he be on board for now? There's no reason for him to be.
Right. He would be the guy. They have to have a unanimous vote to change it.
And he's for people who don't know, he's the commissioner of the American Athletic Conference.
Yes, that's right. And at least there was a report earlier this week that he was steadfastly against it, and then I saw another one that said that he could be convinced. So, if he's on board with it, then I think they'll go to 5 and 7 instead of 6 and 6, 5 highest rated.
But why would he get on board, Jerry? I mean, there's no reason for him
to. He would if he had faith that his league could get that spot. But you're right, though. That if he doesn't have enough confidence in his own league to get the 5th spot.
Yeah, I mean, there's an extra chance for him at 6.
Spot, then, I mean, it would be a 1-year thing, right?
but it's a lot of money in 1 year, and that's 6 is bigger than 5. There's an extra chance for him to get a spot. Why would he?
So you know why? I mean, apparently Gloria Navarez, I hope I'm saying her name
that's right,
correctly.
the Mountain West commissioner.
Yeah, she's on board with it. But her league is, has been getting the 1 spot, most years anyway. Well, actually the American has been getting it the most years, but at this point they're the power league conference among the group of 5 at the moment, with the American losing all of its teams to the Big 12, all of its better teams to the Big 12. So, she could get on board with it and probably feel comfortable for 1 year, but I could see Oresco wavering, but it'll come down to him. Yeah. If he gets on board with it, and whatever incentives they may give him to get on board with it, then they'll go to 5 and 7. And if he doesn't, he's the vote that could keep it from being unanimous.
Always good to talk to you. Enjoy. Where are you going this weekend? You home? Where are you?
Back to Purdue. Gosh, it'll be my 5th straight Purdue game. Purdue started with 4 home games out of 5, and so after this weekend, there's only 3 home games left for the whole season at Purdue. But
I'll enjoy that.
Yep.
I always send Jerry pictures when I go to Laramie. I always send a picture. I'll send you a picture of Laramie.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. Enjoy the weekend. We'll catch you next week. Read him every day over on CBSSports.com. Follow him on the Twitter. It's at JPPalmCBS. Talk to you next week, my friend.
All right, thanks.
Be well. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. It's good stuff. His insight's really good. And I think we're all in the same place on Notre Dame. On Colorado USC, right? But 73.5. When was the last time you saw that?
Been a minute.
It's a big number. It's been bet down to 21.5. I think people are kind of, it was up at 24 the other day. I think people are realizing kind of where I know I am. Colorado's going to score on them. I don't think they're going to score enough, but that's a 40-something, at least 20-something game, isn't it?
Yeah. I think USC gets them pretty good.
SC wins 42-28? Somewhere in that area?
That sounds reasonable, really.
Colorado's going to score. Everybody scores on SC. But Caleb Williams is going to score on that defense. So, all right, 505-246-0610. Get in on that. Updates on injuries for tonight's game in the NFL when we get back. And what did Jerry have to say? Well, I'll tell you next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Thursday night and Monday Night Football.
This report is... We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area.
Expect Aaron Jones to go tonight. Get official word from the Packers 90 minutes before kickoff, and it looks like Christian Watson is going to give it a go as well for Green Bay in your Thursday night football game. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. You can get in on the Damian Lillard trade as well. Damian Lillard goes to the Bucks. Tyler left and came back. Asked Tyler if he recommends the local area talent signs with UNM. Does UNM have local talent that make a difference? So we had Tyler Keeney on with that. I just saw this, and sorry for that. It's kind of an interesting one. Kind of curious where. I'm sorry I missed that one earlier. I also told you this earlier. The mayor gave a presentation yesterday, and this was at the Visit Albuquerque annual meeting. And kind of his first part of his presentation was the stadium for United is pretty much a done deal. He said it's up to them to fund it now. Text line says, no stadiums for us. The United, not a sports animal entity. So no, that's not what I'm saying. Did I ever say that?
Nope.
All right. I gave you whatever. There's a lot of things that we don't carry that we cover, by the way. Cows, Cowboys, I don't think we carry, right? We cover them. Yeah. That's just not it. I just want your thoughts on that. If you have thoughts on that, because I know you
give our take on the stadium.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I think I just gave you the fact.
What the mayor had presented yesterday.
Yeah, I think I just gave you the facts, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think we gave you a take on that. All right, we got more on college stuff of the rivalry. We got more on the Lobos going up to play in Laramie, and it just doesn't end. The Taylor Swift stuff doesn't end, does it? She's taken over the National Football League. What's bigger than the NFL? You can't get away from it. And you know you're going to watch, and you can tell me you're not. I'm going to reset you at the top, too. The big trade in the NBA, your thoughts, our thoughts on who won, who lost, and it's not over yet. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-2
294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Big trade in the NBA, kind of almost for a few hours. No, not even almost. I think it did usurp, kind of take the place of the NFL for a few hours yesterday. The Damian Lillard trade to the Milwaukee Bucks. When you say it was a Wednesday, so they didn't run it down on a Sunday, even a Thursday when there's a game. Damian Lillard was big enough, and he went to go play with Giannis Antetokounmpo, that I think it usurped all the sports world, even more so than Messi not playing in the U.S. Open Cup final. And it was the biggest news in sports yesterday, wasn't it?
Absolutely. It's a championship level trade. You already have a championship organization in the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, they are. That has a superstar in Giannis. That was a little antsy and put it out there. I don't know. Are you committed? Well, Milwaukee's absolutely committed. They've spent money. They brought people in. But Giannis, just wanted his piece of the offseason buzz. And it's like, why is he Bradley Beal getting traded? All these other names out there. When can I get my star? And I guess Drew Holiday wasn't star enough.
Chris Middleton wasn't star
for
enough.
Giannis, even though they are won a championship together. But he got Damian Lillard.
The best. Who won the trade? Did Milwaukee win it just because they got Damian Lillard? They did, right?
Yes. They won the trade because Drew Holiday, while he's not the household name, like Milwaukee, their expectations don't change. But it's Dame Lillard, and so it's the buzz, it's the he's a star versus Drew Holiday in the social media world. But the offense gets better, especially late in games. And that's where Milwaukee is going to be deadly. Because that's just the one area where Giannis really isn't that dude. In clutch time, you need that big time shot. Who's it going to be? Well, it can be Damian Lillard.
You got the second best shooter in the game, don't you?
Dame time.
Right? Is he not the second best shooter in the game in this generation?
And he's the guy that's extended the 3-point shot with Steph Curry. And so now you have Giannis that can absolutely dominate a game and take over. You're running pick and rolls in the fourth quarter with those two. Have fun trying to stop that combination.
Portland will move Drew Holiday and get more assets from this. So I don't know that we know exactly what Portland's got from this yet. And the sneaky part of this is the third team in the deal, and that's Phoenix, where they get rid of DeAndre Ayton and that large contract. They bring in Yusuf Nurkic. They get Grayson Allen. I thought they got really nice pieces as kind of a bystander in this deal.
They did. They got good bench player in Grayson Allen. Nassar Little might not get a lot of time because of the expectations on that roster, but he's the guy that can get buckets. And there's going to be those nights in the regular season where the NBA is pushing back on it. So maybe you don't see the DNPs, but you see the minutes reduced for a Kevin Durant, a Devin Booker at times. And Nassar Little is a young guard that can get yourself some buckets in that rotation, and you move off of the attitude issues, the confidence issues, the trust issues that were there with DeAndre Ayton.
It just never worked with him. And then they rewarded him with a big deal. Indianapolis, remember a few years back, had given him that offer sheet. They didn't want to lose him for nothing, so they matched it. And it always felt to me reluctantly matched that offer sheet to have him there. And he never turned into what they wanted. He was really good during the playoff run a few years back, and you thought he was making his ascension, and he just never did. So that's there for you if you want to get in at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. That's the phone line here at the Sports Animal and the text line. We had Tyler Keeney with us today. Tyler Keeney, the young man who played high school football in Los Lunas, went to UCLA and transferred back and is now the Lobos starting defensive lineman. He was with us. If you missed any of that and want to hear that, and it was, I think, a fun conversation and really, really good stuff from Tyler. It's available wherever you get your podcasts and certainly on our website, sportsanimalabq.com, and click on the opening drive, and it'll be right there. Along with all this stuff, Jerry Palm will be up there as well. Yesterday's Marty Smith conversation I thought was terrific. The author, as well as reporter for ESPN, was with us, and I thought his perspective on college athletics was really, really good as well. You're in on the email line. HB said, what's going on with Christian Washington, Jeffy? Remember in Vegas, we were told he might be Lobo football's second best player. Now he's at the end of the bench with the walk-ons. Will he be in the transfer portal during bye week? And Danny Gonzalez was asked specifically about Christian Watson on Tuesday at the press conference, and his response was, other guys have just beaten him out, right? He just hasn't earned playing time. He said, we got a deep running back room, and other guys have just earned the playing time over him.
You don't live up to expectations, it's still sports, and you can get benched.
I mean, it's just what it sounds like, right?
You got responsibilities on and off the field.
Yep, and whether it's an off-field issue, Danny said it's not necessarily anything off the field,
but it's you're still held to a certain level of expectations, regardless of what was said at one point in time. Yeah, you have someone that was second team All Mountain West when it comes to kick returns. That's great. Doesn't mean you get a pass for the work you have to put in on the field Monday through Thursday.
All right, let's go. Miguel, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Miguel.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Thursday to you guys. I got mixed feelings. I'm a Suns fan, so I got mixed feelings on DeAndre Ayton. He's 24, maybe 25. He was never going to be the number one scorer on this team.
Of course not.
And he kept getting pushed down third and fourth. And I think he's got they say potential is a big word, but I think he can go and put up big numbers for Portland, being their number one or number two scorer. So I want Portland to trade Holiday back to the Eastern Conference because my guy here, Devin Booker, he's locked down defender on Devin Booker and always gives him trouble. So I'm a big Holiday fan. Just I'd rather face him 2 times a year than 4 times a year.
Totally fair.
And then, and then finally, I've always been a Lillard fan. I thought he should have left Portland 2 or 3 years ago. So I mean, he didn't, and that's that says a lot about him. But he's always been the big dog in Portland. So he's going to go play with his buddy, the Greek Freak, and they've known each other. They want to play, but it's going to be fun. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch because he's always been the top person in Portland, and now he's got to share that ball a little bit. I imagine he'll do it without much problems. But they lost a big defender in Holiday, and I think you guys are right. The scoring's going to go up, but it'll be interesting to watch. I'm looking forward to watching that team go.
I think everybody got better.
That's all I had.
Thanks, Miguel. Appreciate it. I mean, I don't know that Portland got better. They weren't keeping Damian Lillard. They didn't get better. They got what they needed because once they turn Drew Holiday, and they will, they're going to get a bunch of assets and basically rebuild who they are. Did they get better? They did not because they lose Damian Lillard, but they were losing Damian Lillard. Everybody else, I think, got better. And look out for Milwaukee.
I think the frustrating thing is with DeAndre Ayton, you can't just keep talking about potential.
That's right.
You were given a contract extension. You were on a championship caliber team, and you never fit in. Now, yeah, his year could look a lot better because he's going to a place where there's not expectations. He couldn't handle winning expectations. He was benched in the playoffs. Is his career over? No. But this is a good move for him. Is maybe he could evolve as a player when he's not playing for championships. And that's what Phoenix was doing.
John Morant's still there. New Orleans, they still have Zion, right? I mean, the West, who are the bad teams? Is it Portland and Houston still? That's it, right?
Spurs are going to struggle.
Yeah, but they're going to be better because they got next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for tonight and Monday night and Sunday Night Football.
Get qualified for
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety.
or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure.
When you're talking about returning to performance and returning to play, those are different things. How good will Cooper Kupp be when he gets back? These hamstring things, we're watching it, right, with isn't that what Christian Watson has, a hamstring?
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers, Romeo Doubs. More. Yeah, I guess that's about
kind of what you do with everyone.
Yeah, no, everybody's there. All right, Jerry Jones speaks every week on his radio show on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Cowboys had, this is interesting, actually. The Cowboys have had a league high 15 red zone drives this year. So they've been in the a little bit. I think their inability, now I think they got to start looking at that. Ferguson's a tight end I really like. You look at Cowboys over the years, they've developed a tight end in the red zone, don't you think?
They have.
Do you disagree with you? I disagree that this isn't a long-range concern. I think this is something.
The number one focus for that offense is finishing drives.
The other problem there, they got 3 starting offensive linemen who went down on Sunday, right? I mean, the same linemen begin this week in rehab. We're talking about a center. He's a favorite, right? He gets greeted with love, does he not?
You give him a nice round of applause when he runs out on the field, then boo him the rest of the game.
What do you?
I think that's the way these things should be handled because you want your team to beat him.
Okay.
So root
but you
against
don't
him.
boo every other guy who gets the ball, right? I mean,
why the heck not? It's just being a fan of the terrible.
On a bench, I'm like, you know what? If there's a week, he had 80 yards on 16 carries last week or something like that, 18 carries, whatever it was. He's got 28 carries on the season for 122 yards. Says I still have plenty in the tank. I think I'm still a pretty good. Scores a touchdown, if they can score a touchdown. I mean, their offense is struggling. This is another one where I think Dallas's defense. We're sitting here Monday going, oh, they're back. I mean, they're back against the Jets and against who they play in week 2. Intrigued?
Yes, this should be a close game.
I think Dallas should smoke them. I don't know that they will, but I think they should.
Why should they smoke?
Because I think their defense should suffocate Mac Jones. And if their defense is as good as we believe they will.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns in an NFL game is crazy, but it does not feel like enough because 49ers are that good.
All right, am I off my rocker to think that I'm intrigued by Joshua Dobbs? So I've watched him for 3 games. He looked fine in their loss at Washington, not good. He looked really good in the first half against the Giants, and then whatever happened to them, they shut down. And I thought he looked like a good quarterback last week. Am I out of my mind to think that he's a functional to decent NFL quarterback? I know he was brought in to be a stopgap until they draft a quarterback next year. Can they win 5-6 games with Joshua Dobbs a quarterback? Because I think they can. Not this week, but I think they can. Am I just out of my mind with this?
No, I think you're right about Joshua Dobbs. He came in ready to play. He told everyone that he's ready to go.
He feels like a guy who finally got his chance and is decent. Do you believe in this at all? Would you rather have him or Russell Wilson or Justin Fields or some of these guys that you think are done?
Oh, I'll take Russell Wilson. I'll take Justin Fields.
Okay.
Like, if you're telling me this year,
right now,
or what are we talking
about? Right now.
Well, what team do we get to have that player on?
Well, your
team.
You
can't. So that's the thing when you ask these quarterback questions.
Why? Tell me where Justin Fields.
I'm not taking Brock Purdy over Justin Herbert. I'm not taking Brock Purdy over Kirk Cousins.
Nobody is.
But if you say, hey, if you put player X in the same team.
Well, nobody is. If you asked Mike Shanahan, would you rather have Justin Herbert?
I'm taking Russell Wilson over Josh Dobbs if it's the same exact offense. It's not crazy to think that he's going to have something this year.
That's all I asked. I just looked. I mean, I'm looking at a guy and I'm like, holy smokes, where did he come from? This was a throwaway. All right, 505-246-0610. That's why I'll ask the questions from now on. All right.
She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is
Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
Are you think setting your lineups hard now? You're 1 week away from buys. Next week, Cleveland, the Chargers, Seattle, and Tampa are on a bye. They haven't had Austin Eckler, who was many of your first-round pick, by the way, right? Quote from Eckler, he was talking to Chris Room of ESPN. I can run full speed straight ahead right now, but if I go turn, that's where I've been trying to build back towards, end quote. I mean, can we not ask this question? Is that what's going on here? I hate that. I hate asking the question. He seems like a pretty stand-up dude, but are they trying to make a point?
I mean, when the NFL files a lawsuit, it feels like there's a lot of smoke there. So with his injury, it's an ankle, so I'm guessing that you could probably get something on an MRI, but I mean, it's fair to ask that question. It's very fair.
I mean, when you're ready to go, I would never ask the question if they didn't say it. And I thought when it came out, and I don't know how it leaked out, right? It probably wasn't something they needed the media to see. But I would never ask that question if it wasn't something they said, right? But there was a bunch of running backs that got together and said, you know what, we'll show them our value. Well, I don't know. I mean, the Chargers won last week without him. Their offense has been pretty good without him. Have they not?
You can't run the football, but the offense has been fine.
The offense has been pretty good. You're right. They can't run the ball. The Colts are 2-1 without Jonathan Taylor. Are they proving their point or I guess at some point you got to say, you know what? I'm making $8-10 million. That's a lot of money. I get it. It's not what the quarterback's making or the defensive end's making. I got to go to work.
That you do. And to me, for a running back, all you can do is fight for guaranteed money. You're not getting $18-20 million, but if at least 2 seasons you're guaranteeing yourself a little bit over what 2 years worth of franchise tag would be, like that's a step forward for top running backs. Just knowing that in your short career, which is shorter than everyone else. I know that the lifespan of football players isn't long, but especially like these running backs, what we just saw happen to Nick Chubb, that's the only thing you can do.
I think your idea, and you came up with this a couple of weeks ago, is the right one. It's short, 2-year deals, and get it up to what would you say, like 13, 14, 15?
Yeah.
For the top backs?
Try to guarantee yourself that money because you're not getting long-term deals. It's just not there. NFL teams don't have to invest in running back position, and they're showing you that there's plenty of guys that can do the job. Are there certain guys that are better than the rest? Yeah. But when you lose a Nick Chubb and you're still that confident with Jerome Ford in your backfield and you go out and win a game, you're not giving $50-60 million deals out.
Where was DeAndre Swift picked? He was a second-round pick. I'm asking you this. So Christian McCaffrey was a first-round pick, if I'm not mistaken, right? He was a first-round pick by Carolina. He's leading the NFL in rushing. DeAndre Swift is second. He was a second-round pick. James Cook was second. He is a third. He's a second-round pick. James Conner is the fourth leading rusher in the NFL after 3 weeks. He was a third-round pick, right? And Tony Pollard is fifth in the league in rushing. He was a fourth-round pick. My point being, you can find guys, running backs, everywhere. And that's what they're saying, and that's what they're showing you. And these guys holding out are not proving their points. These guys, the more guys, I mean, what's Jonathan Taylor thinking right now, you think? And is he even, is he on the injured list or the PUP list? What is it?
Yeah, physically unable to perform.
So that's 4 weeks. So he's eligible to come back after this week. The guy who's in his stead, Zach Moss, is the 9th leading rusher in the National Football League. They found Zach Moss out of Utah in the 3rd round. Buffalo picked him in the 3rd round in the 2020 draft. He's the 3rd leading rusher in the National Football League, averaging 4.4 yards per carry. I get it, man. And I know we've had this conversation. We had it all summer. I get these guys want theirs, and I would want mine too. I don't know that I think that they're doing themselves a favor by whether it's Jonathan Taylor holding out I don't want to. I hate even asking the question. I'm not accusing Austin Eckler. I'm just asking the question. I'm going to believe he's hurt, right? I've got to believe he's hurt. But the fact that they put it out there just makes you go, huh? But start going down the list, man. I don't know. That's going to be a hard one to accept. I work just as hard as those guys. I'm more valuable, I think, than those guys are. I'm the top of my profession, and my ceiling is way lower than their ceiling. It's a hard one to accept.
It is, and it's one that, because of the usage, it's like it's easy to say, yeah, you're going to get broken, yeah, but when I'm there, you give me the ball more than anyone else.
Chris
Like, yeah.
McCaffrey's carried the ball 60 times, and he's I don't even have his receiving on here, but he's next to the quarterback, and I mean the center touches it on every play, but next to the quarterback, you touch it more than anybody else. I get it. I just don't see a solution. And as much as they're right, the model says they're wrong. Right? The model says the ownership is right on this one. Because I can find someone to step into your place and there's a Tony Pollard, or there's a Brian Robinson, or there's a Zach Moss. Where'd Kenneth Walker come from? Right? Kenneth Walker was a second-round pick out of Michigan State. Pretty good running back for Seattle. Jerome Ford, you all have him, or you all clamored for him 2 weeks ago. 5th-round pick out of Cincinnati. Right? And he's the number 1 running back in this league. I hate asking the question, though. I feel dirty, but I don't know, man. They put it out there. Text line on UNM. UNM is a 14.5-point dog with a 41 over-under. I'll take the Lobos, and the points may take the over. It says that on the text line. The over's got to be the play there, doesn't it? 41?
No.
You don't think that's going over 41?
Like 2017 ran all over it.
Two teams that are going to pound the ball. Wyoming's won 2 games that have been in the teens, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Last week, what was it, 22-19? You got it all right in
Portland
front of
State
you.
went over. But that
What was last week? Was it 22-19? What was the number last week?
22-19.
And then what did they beat Tech? Well, Tech was overtime. They scored a lot of points.
I'd feel more comfortable taking the over.
Than the under?
41 points.
Yeah, I don't mind the over. What do you like the Lobos at 14.5? I mean, if you think it's going under, then you take the points, right? If you think it's going under, you take the points. They scored 35 in a win over Texas Tech, 31 in Portland State. I mean, look, they held Texas to 31. You're saying, and it was 10-10 at halftime. They did have a turnover in there. They did. And Texas, now it's not like Texas is a juggernaut offensive. Although they scored 34 points at Alabama, they only put up 37 on Rice. They put up 38 on Baylor. Texas averaging like 33, 34 points a game. I like the points. I like the Lobos at 14.5, and I think this is a game that if they get some stops defensively, because Wyoming doesn't throw the ball, JJ, this is not a game that I expect their defensive backfield to get incredibly tested. What did Wyoming throw for 36 yards last week? So I think that's
I'm worried about the big play.
So the big surprise over the top play, or what?
Wyoming doesn't need to throw the ball 20, 23 times to have success against the Lobo secondary.
In fact,
the first offensive play of the game at UMass last week, Carlos Davis overthrew a wide open.
That was a
receiver
home run.
down the
He
sideline.
had it. Yeah, I agree.
That's the stuff that works.
So you expect Beasley to take some shots. He only threw the ball 15 times last week. Look, they only had, 27, 37, 40. They only ran 42 plays last week. App State ran 90. Wyoming ran 42, and Wyoming won the game. 90 plays App State ran. Then they lost. Beasley was 5 of 15 for 31 yards. Now, Harrison Whaley ran the ball all day. He averaged 9.2 yards per carry. That's where the Lobos got to work. Can they stop the run? Because I got to believe Wyoming's going to take a shot or two, right?
Yes.
I mean, I would. I'm throwing it number 2, aren't you? Find me number 2 and number 9. Stay away from number 8. So you know how coaches talking numbers? No, they're really good. I mean, number 9's good, and the edge coming off. Number 42 is really good. And, yeah, find me number 9 and number 2. Stay away from 8. All right, when we come back, wrap it up. Everything you got to know as you go through your day. You get NFL tonight, latest on the injury report. Ryder Cup starts tonight, or today. What time? What'd you tell me, 11 something? It's in Rome, so it's like in the middle of the night.
The opening ceremony, I believe, is going on right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll figure that out. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. Oh, and this. Travis Hunter, the young man from Colorado, the two-way star, the offensive defensive star, who is out because of that cheap hit. He has spoken with the young man from Colorado State who applied the hit, what he said, and where they are, because it's kind of a big deal. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
You know, lost in all of the Deion hype is some of the messaging that's coming out of it. And because of the way Deion presents the messages or the way, like the Oregon video that came out with all the junk that his team talked before the game, I think some of the messaging is getting lost. Like I thought one of the, some of it seems so manufactured, right? Because there's video everywhere. And so they're controlling their message. And they're doing a great job of it, right? I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think great marketing teams do that. United does that. They control their message and they get out great messaging, right? Last week when Travis Hunter, the two-way star, who's out with a lacerated liver, wanted to play, Deion said in his press conference, I told him, your future's better than mine ever was. And you're not playing. It's bigger than this game, and go get yourself healthy, young man. I mean, I know I'm paraphrasing, but I don't know. Did you guys feel that was some sort of a contrived message, or kind of, to me, it was refreshing? Could you ever imagine, I don't know, pick your college coach saying that? Is Saban saying that? Is Hugh Freeze saying that? Right? Kind of a good message, don't you think?
It is.
Okay. I thought this is going to go under the radar. And whether this was staged or not, the messaging on this is right. So I don't know if you all are familiar with the name Henry Blackburn. Henry Blackburn is the Colorado State defensive back who delivered that hit in the Colorado State game on Travis Hunter that ended up in the lacerated liver for the Colorado Star. And Blackburn, the Colorado State star, has been getting death threats. And Deion came out and everybody came out and said, look, this is a damn game. Well, evidently, the two of the players got together. And Hunter and they've come to defense of Blackburn. There's a social media post of the two getting together and making up and like all is good, and they had a conversation. And I don't know, man, the fact that, and I get it, it's all on social media, it's all out there for display, and there's plenty of people who say it's contrived. He didn't have to do that. They could have said that was a cheap shot and bleeped that guy, and they could have fueled that fire. And
so addressing issues is not a bad thing.
My point on this one, though, is the fact that
even if it is for social media, that's still important.
Yes.
Because where the threats were coming from was social media, was people reaching out to that Colorado State player, was trying to slide in the DMs and send messages and send tweets and X's at him. And so there's a reason you have to make that public, is because they came out and said, slow your roll. Yeah, it was a bad hit and it got the dude hurt. But how you handle it after that is exactly what you're talking about. And instead of firing it up, like Deion Sanders pretty much said, hey, kid made a mistake. Is it you're thankful that it's not something that like ended the entire season for Travis Hunter, because then your feelings are going to be different?
Yep.
But that's why something like that does have to be on social media, because it's, whether it's, of course it's contrived. That's how you do that. You say, hey, let's get together. Let's squash this, because that kid is getting crushed.
Yeah.
He made a mistake. Does that mean he's the worst football player ever? No. But
he's playing football, man. It was an emotional night. Was it a wrong hit? Yeah. But like they said, you're playing football.
And you address these things. So you need to do.
There's a post out. I don't know where they shook hands or where this was. I don't know if they had to get them two together, but they appear to have reconciled. Blackburn is a Colorado State player. He reposted a video on his Instagram shaking hands with Travis Hunter. Hunter's downplayed it on his social media. And Deion offered forgiveness of Blackburn last week. Right? Colorado State University reported that there were death threats coming, and he wasn't disqualified for the game. And Sanders, this was the quote, and I know you've heard it. I forgive him. Our team forgives him. Travis, he's forgiven him. Let's move on. That kid does not deserve that. Henry Blackburn's a good player who played a phenomenal game. He made a tremendous hit on Travis on the sideline. You can call it dirty. You can call it he's just playing the game of football. But whatever he was, he should not be receiving death threats, end quote. Look, you can call Deion all hype. And we're going to point out all the mess. This is, as you sift through the smoke of all the hype and the social media and everything that is Deion in Colorado, and fine. Baseline reality, like way more serious than a football. If that young man is receiving death threats, good for Deion Sanders to come to the defense of an opposing player who put one of his best players out for weeks and lacerated his liver. And if he did it for social media, fine, because he's doing a lot of other stuff for social media, right? But if this can maybe do some good, I think this is as big a story as any of the other stuff. The big story, right? The overriding story of what he's done and how he's turned it around. Like, I get that. But as far as you want to pick a little piece out of this, young man for Colorado State lays a hit, call it cheap hit, whatever, puts out one of your best players, a pro prospect, lacerates his liver. I mean, that's got to be painful. I don't even know where my liver is, dude. Is it here? Is it here? I don't even know which part. Which part's your liver on? Do you know? Like, right? Is it in the back here? Okay. We're pointing to our bodies on radio because this is really good radio.
Great. I tell you, though, the way he sticks up for his guys and those kids.
But he stuck up for another guy's kid. That's the beauty of this one.
And that's why I like Prime, the guy. He is doing good things for those kids. And I think that is very, very honorable. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. He sticks up for his kids. He loves on his kids. Now, he didn't stick up for the kids that were there when he first got in. They weren't his necessarily. And, do you know the answer to this? How many kids were in the room the day Deion showed up and said, I'm bringing my luggage, get in the portal? Do you know how many kids just said, you know what, screw it, I'm staying here and I'm sticking it out? Do you know how many, survived all that? Said, I'm sticking it out. I'm going to prove to this guy that I belong here. There's got to be a few, right?
I think I heard it was like 13 or 16.
Okay, those are the stories I want to hear. You know what I mean? The guys who just said, bleep this guy. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to prove I'm worth it, that I belong here.
That's also tough because
sure,
even if you want to stick around, there's an amount of guys that could say, hey, I'm coming back. They're like, you're not.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there was some of that.
Yeah, like, you're not coming back.
Yeah, you're not good enough. Like, you're 1-11. There's a reason we're 1-11. It wasn't all coaching. No, there's a lot of smoke there, but there's also some substance, and I'm going to tell you, I appreciate that they stuck up for a young man who was getting death threats when they didn't have to do that. They won one of theirs. Have fun with the football tonight. Lions and Packers. It sounds like Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are leaning towards playing. Thank you to Jerry Palm, who was with us today. Tyler Keeney as well. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way. That'll be at 4. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning. You want to start at 7 a.m.? All right. Good show today. Great work. Adrian, great stuff. Big day for you, huh?
Huge day.
All right, enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying